valuable 3 points for City, who are now once again 2 points behind Arsenal going into the weekend's fixtures. Meanwhile, in League One, Stockport County secured their place in the playoff final thanks to a 2-0 home victory against Stevenage. Moving on to golf news now, and Rory McIlroy says he was pleasantly surprised at how good his troublesome right foot felt as he completed 9-hole practice on the eve of the US PGA Championship near Philadelphia. The Masters Champions preparations were disrupted as he seeks successive major wins. He needed to halt practice round on Tuesday, only after 3 holes, after suffering pain from his little toe on his right foot, explaining he departed from the 4th tee in a golf cart. McIlroy said, because I didn't think I could walk the next 6, it was sore. I did feel a little soft having to walk in because of a little toe, but all good news for McIlroy ahead of the upcoming US PGA Championship, which gets underway today. Well, that's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Thursday morning and news from north of the border as Hearts head coach Derek McInnes says his side are up against everyone after what he described as a disgusting 99th minute penalty winner for Celtic ensured that the Scottish Premiership title race will go down to a nail-biting final day decider on Saturday. Well, Hearts cruised to a 3-0 win over Falkirk at Tynecastle. However, Celtic were awarded a late controversial penalty in their 3-2 victory against Motherwell. Well, deep into injury time, VAR referee Andrew Dallas called referee John Beaton to the pitch-side monitor after Motherwell's Sam Nicholson challenged for a high ball. Replay seemed to show the ball hitting Nicholson's head rather than his hand, but the penalty was awarded and Kelechi Iheanacho converted to snatch a 3-2 victory, which means that the title race will go down to the final day at Parkhead as Celtic host Hearts, who have a 1-point advantage in the table going into that game. Well, this is what Derek McInnes had to say after the full-time whistle against Falkirk. When you heard Celtic had a 96th minute penalty going to VAR, you just assume they get it. It's disgusting. We're up against it. We're up against everybody. I don't think it's a penalty. It's so poor, and it looks as though Celtic have been given it. They have been very fortunate. Meanwhile, in the other Scottish Premiership game, Rangers suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Hibernian. Meanwhile, in the English Premier League, Manchester City kept pressure on Arsenal at the top of the standings thanks to a 3-0 victory at home against Crystal Palace. Antoine Semenyo opened the scoring in the 32nd minute before Omar Mamouche gave City a 2-0 lead at the break. Savino wrapping up things in the 84th minute to secure a valuable 3 points for City, who are now once again 2 points behind Arsenal going into the weekend's fixtures. Meanwhile, in League One, Stockport County secured their place in the playoff final thanks to a 2-0 home victory against Stevenage. Moving on to golf news now, and Rory McIlroy says he was pleasantly surprised at how good his troublesome right foot felt as he completed 9-hole practice on the eve of the US PGA Championship near Philadelphia. The Masters Champions preparations were disrupted as he seeks successive major wins. He needed to halt practice round on Tuesday, only after 3 holes, after suffering pain from his little toe on his right foot, explaining he departed from the 4th tee in a golf cart. McIlroy said, because I didn't think I could walk the next 6, it was sore. I did feel a little soft having to walk in because of a little toe, but all good news for McIlroy ahead of the upcoming US PGA Championship, which gets underway today. Well, that's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Thursday morning and news from north of the border as Hearts head coach Derek McInnes says his side are up against everyone after what he described as a disgusting 99th minute penalty winner for Celtic ensured that the Scottish Premiership title race will go down to a nail-biting final day decider on Saturday. Well, Hearts cruised to a 3-0 win over Falkirk at Tynecastle. However, Celtic were awarded a late controversial penalty in their 3-2 victory against Motherwell. Well, deep into injury time, VAR referee Andrew Dallas called referee John Beaton to the pitch-side monitor after Motherwell's Sam Nicholson challenged for a high ball. Replay seemed to show the ball hitting Nicholson's head rather than his hand, but the penalty was awarded and Kelechi Iheanacho converted to snatch a 3-2 victory, which means that the title race will go down to the final day at Parkhead as Celtic host Hearts, who have a 1-point advantage in the table going into that game. Well, this is what Derek McInnes had to say after the full-time whistle against Falkirk. When you heard Celtic had a 96th minute penalty going to VAR, you just assume they get it. It's disgusting. We're up against it. We're up against everybody. I don't think it's a penalty. It's so poor, and it looks as though Celtic have been given it. They have been very fortunate. Meanwhile, in the other Scottish Premiership game, Rangers suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Hibernian. Meanwhile, in the English Premier League, Manchester City kept pressure on Arsenal at the top of the standings thanks to a 3-0 victory at home against Crystal Palace. Antoine Semenyo opened the scoring in the 32nd minute before Omar Mamouche gave City a 2-0 lead at the break. Savino are wrapping up things in the 84th minute to secure a valuable 3 points for City, who are now once again 2 points behind Arsenal going into the weekend's fixtures. Meanwhile, in League One, Stockport County secured their place in the playoff final thanks to a 2-0 home victory against Stevenage. Moving on to golf news now, and Rory McIlroy says he was pleasantly surprised at how good his troublesome right foot felt as he completed 9-hole practice on the eve of the US PGA Championship near Philadelphia. The Masters Champions preparations were disrupted as he seeks successive major wins. He needed to halt practice round on Tuesday only after 3 holes after suffering pain from his little toe on his right foot, explaining he departed from the 4th tee in a golf cart. McIlroy said, because I didn't think I could walk the next 6, it was sore. I did feel a little soft having to walk in because of a little toe, but all good news for McIlroy ahead of the upcoming US PGA Championship, which gets underway today. Well, that's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Thursday morning and news from north of the border as Hearts head coach Derek McInnes says his side are up against everyone after what he described as a disgusting 99th minute penalty winner for Celtic ensured that the Scottish Premiership title race will go down to a nail-biting final day decider on Saturday. Well, Hearts cruised to a 3-0 win over Falkirk at Tynecastle. However, Celtic were awarded a late controversial penalty in their 3-2 victory against Motherwell. Well, deep into injury time, VAR referee Andrew Dallas called referee John Beaton to the pitch-side monitor after Motherwell's Sam Nicholson challenged for a high ball. Replay seemed to show the ball hitting Nicholson's head rather than his hand, but the penalty was awarded and Kelechi Iheanacho converted to snatch a 3-2 victory, which means that the title race will go down to the final day at Parkhead as Celtic host Hearts, who have a 1-point advantage in the table going into that game. Well, this is what Derek McInnes had to say after the full-time whistle against Falkirk. When you heard Celtic had a 96th minute penalty going to VAR, you just assume they get it. It's disgusting. We're up against it. We're up against everybody. I don't think it's a penalty. It's so poor, and it looks as though Celtic have been given it. They have been very fortunate. Meanwhile, in the other Scottish Premiership game, Rangers suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Hibernian. Meanwhile, in the English Premier League, Manchester City kept pressure on Arsenal at the top of the standings thanks to a 3-0 victory at home against Crystal Palace. Antoine Semenyo opened the scoring in the
For the Bantams, it's Sam Walker in goal, a back three of Joe Wright, Aidan Baldwin and Curtis Tilt, with Josh Newville and Ibu Toure, the wingers, or wing-backs I should say, with a double pivot of skipper Max Power and Jensen Metcalf. And it is a warm welcome to this evening's independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Valley Parade, the second leg of the playoff semi-final, just about to get underway. It is Bradford City hosting a Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Bolton bring a 1-0 aggregate lead into this second leg tie, thanks to a 1-0 win at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium only 5 nights ago. Long ball forward here. Bradford will get us underway, going left to right in the usual claret and amber. Bolton going from right to left in the white and navy. Long ball forward, straight away from Bradford, and it's another long ball back from Bolton to Sam Walker. Already very direct from both these sides. Very frantic game it was at the weekend. Both sides, you could feel the tension was in the air between the two. And now this is the one. Of course, Stockport are already there in the final, so whoever wins this will be there. Of course, Bradford will have to win by at least 2 goals to get there, whereas Bolton, as long as they don't lose, job will be done, and they'll be there on the 24th of May at Wembley. I'll bring you the lineups in just a moment if you missed them in the preamble, and the changes for the Bantams, as Rodriguez has it in the middle, tries to play it wide to the right-hand side. Cozy and Dewberry, he's going to get there first. He brings it down on the right-hand side, opens up for a shooting opportunity. Gets underneath it, puts his effort wide. It was his goal in the first leg, the difference maker. A little bit further out there, but already showing the pace that Bolton have with the wingers, himself on the right and Sissoko on the left. It's myself, Lewis Raftery. I'm joined by Rob Eddy, take you through all the action this evening. Rob, Bolton already starting off, but for Bradford it's a big game for both, but Bolton will feel confident with the aggregate advantage.
Yeah, they can relax a little bit. I mean, it's tough to know how it'll go, and neither side particularly finish the season particularly well, but obviously Bolton come into this having won the first leg. They're full of goals, it seems. They don't win too often on the road. Bradford have been excellent on home territory this season, but of course that's in less pressured situations, and you just don't know how they're going to react. As I say, the end of the season doesn't look particularly good for either side, but I think that plays into Bolton's hands because they're leading this tie already. Tough to know how it's going to go because Bolton do score goals, but I just think Bolton might do enough to squeeze through.
They've got the advantage. It's basically up to Bradford this evening. Even if they were play devil's advocate, they win. Well, 1-0, it's not enough. They've got to win by 2 to finish this game off, of course. Newville has a throw-in on the right-hand side. Quickly for the hosts, it's only one change from the first leg. Lapsley drops out and Poynton returns from injury. Missed the first leg as a whole. For Bolton, completely unchanged. Stephen Schumacher quite happy with what he saw. If it's not broke, don't fix it. In the middle of the field, very frantic, as I've already said. Long ball forward from Sheehan, out of play for a throw-in for Bradford inside their own half. Quickly then, it's Walker in goal for Alexander's side. Back three of Wright, Baldwin and Tilt. Torre off the left and Newville off the right as wing-backs. Skipper, Power and Metcalf in the middle, with a forward three of Poynton, Jackson and Sarcevic. Whereas for the visitors, unchanged, as I said, Bonham is in goal. Back forward of Osai Tutu, Towell, Farino and Johnston. Sheehan and Erahon in the middle as a double pivot. Gozier Dewberry, Rodriguez and Sissoko supporting Burstow, who leads the line. Draws in the English League this season. Bolton with the most on 18. Mansfield in second with 17 and a draw. I'm sure that Stephen Schumacher would be very happy with that this evening. That'd take his side to Wembley. Thomas Kirk as well is the official for all the action this evening. Ball over the top for Sissoko. Puts it down the left-hand channel for Burstow. Does he keep it in play? Whether it has or not, he's a heavy touch, so it goes out for a goal kick, but the official does put his flag up, and it will be a throw-in for Bradford. Absolutely packed out Valley Parade this evening. Imagine the atmosphere, it was absolutely booming before kick-off, and hopefully that's something that maybe Bradford will think that can maybe take us to the next step. Back to the goalkeeper Bonham, who once again clears it long. Every time he's gone to clear it away, he hasn't found a teammate, and 3 times he's gone for Sissoko on the left-hand side. 3 times it's gone out for a throw-in. Metcalf tries to play it along to the right-hand side to Sarcevic. Jackson will chase it down. Half-eyed shouts for a penalty for the push on Jackson. Don't think it was, and correct decision from referee Thomas Kirk. Chested down by Metcalf into the feet of Power. Out to the left-hand side to Torre. Poynton. Ball taken off of him. Not as strong enough was the young Bradford forward there. And here come Bolton over the top looking for the ball to Burstow. What for him? Will Sissoko on the left-hand side, just inside the penalty area. A few step-overs back into the penalty area. Cleared away by Tilton. Further by Power forward for Jackson. Brings it down 2 points and ball over the top for Sarcevic, former Bolton player, of course, and Tony Sarcevic driving forward down the right-hand side. Needs some support. Get it in the wing back in Newville. Tries to drive forward looking for options. Bolton have got bodies back though. It's 2 against 1. He'll do well to win the throw-in. And at the moment, neither team have got a hold of this game right now.
No, I think Bolton aren't playing any football in their own half. They're just getting rid. Maybe that's understandable. They play a bit more of football when they've got a little bit of possession inside the Bradford half, but it hasn't been much of it. They've got the ball, they clear it anywhere but our half. Bradford haven't quite been able to stamp their mark on things. I thought there was a decent chance there considering the flag stayed down. Not a goal scoring chance. The long throw comes in, took a couple of deflections, but Bonham's dived on it before it crossed behind for a corner kick. Yeah, I thought it was a decent chance because the flag stayed down. Perhaps lacked numbers going forward in the end, but decent run from Sarcevic. If it another clearance downfield, it was almost a shot on target because it bounced inside the 18-yard box and it's claimed by Walker. So I think Bolton are playing a territorial game to start with at least.
Just get it in Bradford's half. Let's see if they make a mistake. Neither team are trying to play out from the back, if you will, which you see a lot in the upper leagues. Ball forward once again goes to Bonham, who once again will clear it long. We've seen a lot of goalkeeper to goalkeeper kicks, if you will, so far. Tilt puts it right up into the Bradford sky. Sarcevic tries to bring it down. He can't. Sheehan clears it long. Right, heads it away. It's just a bit of head tennis in the middle for a second. Metcalf brings it down. He's fouled there by Aaron. And it will be a free kick for Bradford. It'll be interesting to see if they try and put one into the box. At the moment, it seems that both sides just, again, as Rob pointed out, it's more of a territorial game. Can we just get it into their half? Can one of the defenders make a mistake, possibly? I think they will go long here from a set piece, and it could be something like a set piece. He's a difference maker when there's so much tension and no clear cut chances. Could just be a ball into the box and a mistake, and one team prospers.
Yeah, definitely. Set pieces could very well decide this particular leg. I mean, if you looked at Bradford's attacking output in the first leg, 3 attempts. Bolton had 12, but in the league fixture at the end of the season, Bolton perhaps shaded it 17 attempts, which is not bad for an away side, particularly at a ground where the home side has been particularly dominant. So I think they're playing the more cagey game though of the first leg rather than perhaps the gung-ho attitude of the league fixture. But that result and it finished 1-1, but that result and the way they played and the fact that a draw is all they need, it's got to give Bolton a little bit of confidence. I'm saying this when they're almost afraid to have passes in their own half. But I think there's got to be a little bit of confidence there, in the underbelly. They're just not playing with it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a big atmosphere coming into maybe Bolton and just thinking, let's weather the storm of Bradford. But Robbie's right. I covered the game on Saturday. Did play some really good stuff. It did. Stephen Schumacher's side were very confident on the ball at all times, and they are now have it out the back with Ferringing it to the left-hand side to Johnston, who, as soon as I say that, will go long, looking for the run of Rodriguez, just a little bit in front of him, reaching for it. Gives a round of applause for his defender for the option. But he can't get there. Now Power plays it long over the top. Goalkeeper will come to claim it that time. Alert sweeper keeping, if you will, there from Jack Bonham, and he does claim the ball. I wonder if he'll roll it out or boot it long. Rob's already spoke about Bradford's fantastic home form in the league. They were the third best side in home fixtures, of course, behind the likes of Lincoln and Cardiff. When you look at Bolton away, they weren't terrible. They were just 7th overall in away fixtures. Of course, as well as Rob spoke about, they only played a good few weeks ago at Valley Parade in that 1-1 draw, where Bolton did take the lead in that game as well. Ball forward for Poynton. He's in an offside position. Free kick for Bolton inside their own half, just outside their own penalty area too, with the right-hand side. If you're joining us, just about to hit the 10th minute of the game, 9 minutes on the clock. It's Bradford 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Independent off-tube studio commentary of this playoff semi-final second leg. Bolton lead 1-0 on aggregate. Looking at Dave Challinor, the Stockport manager, doing a bit of research on whoever wins this game will be facing his side to Wembley on the 24th of May. Long ball forward from Bonham from said free kick. Falls for Rodriguez. Got it back into a dangerous area at first, I thought, by Burstow, but instead it switched out to the left-hand side to Johnston. He's got Sissoko in front of him. Needs the overlapping run there. gets it. Quick feet from Sissoko, puts it through the legs of Baldwin. Referee says no, not a foul. Sarcevic is put under pressure by Erehon. He wins the ball. Sissoko takes it past Baldwin once again, but he can't get on the second one there. Good touch, but Baldwin strong defending and just sees it out of play for a goal kick. And Bolton growing into this game a little bit more.
Yeah, playing a bit more football. I mean, I like the way the referee didn't give a free kick there because although he's beaten his man, he knew what he was doing, and he's kind of fallen into the challenge. Obviously, other referees might have given a free kick, but he wasn't falling for it. I also like the way the fact Sissoko didn't appeal for a corner. I think they just focused on the jobs they've got to do. Maybe Bolton are just starting to get on top in a sense, but obviously no chances as yet, and it still looks very nervous out there.
Yeah, really cagey so far, opening 10.5 minutes from the goal kick. Walker boots it long to the right-hand side. It's won well by Johnson, and as soon as it gets to one of the centre-backs in Liverpool or Farina, they boot it away. Metcalf, slow on the ball. Rodriguez on the halfway line goes for goal. Looks like it was going just off target. Credit for the confidence there for the Bolton midfielder to go for that. Quite clearly must have seen Sam Walker off his goal line. We'll say, watching it back, he's already just inside his penalty area, so it would have taken something really incredible there. It might have been a slip from Walker and a mistake, but Bolton, again, as you said, that's maybe also just thinking, right, maybe if I boot it long, it goes on target. Walker makes a mistake, it might be a goal. Ball forward, Sissoko, can he get there? No, the pacing winger, just a little bit too much on it. Thumbs up there for the pass, but too much on it and out of play for a Bradford throw-in. As I said, it's a packed house at Valley Parade. At the Tough Sheet Community Stadium at the weekend, it was packed out as well. And do you think that for both teams, that's something that when you've got that many people there, you don't usually get this attendance? Is that something that play in the back of the players' minds?
I mean, it might do, but I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, just judging personally the way they're playing, I think they're just focused on what the game plan is. Bolton to start with was just get it into the Bradford half. Now they're starting to play a bit more football. Erehon gets down the left-hand side, ball to the edge of the box. Could be a shooting opportunity. Into the box, he's brought down. It's going to be a free kick in the D. Fraction late tilt arriving at the ball, sidestepped, and that will be a free kick in a very dangerous area. Possibly too close to the edge of the 18-yard box because it's right on it. But it's still a free kick in a dangerous area. And yeah, Bolton just seems to be settling a little bit. No chances as yet. Even that shot from the halfway line, I thought was a bit nervous in the sense that it was almost a 3-on-3, but he's shooting from the halfway line because he perhaps doesn't want to. I don't know. It would have been spectacular, obviously, but I thought they could have played a better position than shooting from that range. But they're back on the front foot. They've got another free kick, and it's certainly within shooting range. It's
a trio over it. Gozie Dewberry, as well as Sheehan, Erehon and Rodriguez making their questions known. As Rob rightfully said, it is probably 19 yards out. It is right outside the 18-yard box. So it's a very awkward one to maybe get one at goal. Might be something out of the training ground routine. There's a couple of players on the edge of the area. Gozie Dewberry is stood over it with the left-footed option. Sheehan with the right. He's got Rodriguez right to his left. Maybe Gozie Dewberry will play it short. Or Sheehan goes for it into the wall and booted long away. And that's, as you rightfully said, it's one of them where, yeah, it's a great position, but to get it up and over the wall with pace, it's really awkward from that position.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to get it up and over with a decent amount of pace. It doesn't have to be super hard. But, I thought that would fancy the left footer there because looking at Walker in goal, he's pretty central. And of course he wants to cover the wall, and so if a left footer goes keeper's side, he's still got half a goal to cover, and there's no wall protection. So to me, I don't know whether Sheehan simply just said, look, I'm taking this one, it's the first and that's my job. I thought it suited a left footer there given the position that Walker was stood in, because he's almost daring them to go his side, as opposed to if you stood on that post, it's like, we'll see if you're good enough to get it over the wall, and clearly he wasn't.
He had a very short run up as well, so I thought it was very awkward to get a lot of power and get up and over it. But as Rob rightfully said, 14 minutes in, Bolton have been the better side. Last 5 minutes, they have kind of just got on the ball and had a little bit of control. Pointing on the left-hand side, is that last off side 2-2? They want a corner. That's exactly what they'll get. Speaking about set piece, you see Pointing trying to get the fans riled up in front of the Cop, and big chance now for Bradford to create a chance.
Yeah, I don't know what the defenders were doing there. Should have just cleared the lines, put it out for a throw. It was almost a token gesture. I don't want him touching the ball, so I'm going to put it behind. I thought he could have dealt with it a little bit better. First set piece for Bradford.
It'll be an in-swinger from Max Power just as he's about to step up the skipper. The referee is going to come over. I think he's unhappy with where it is being placed. A lot of the linesman was having a look. Power's saying it's ridiculous, nothing there. So corner will come up as usual. All eyes on the 6-yard box of a lot of pushing and pulling. Whips it into the front post. It's not cleared. It's a melee. Now it is cleared. From as far as Torre, and Bradford might be able to keep this attack up. Tilt looks to swing it back to Power on the left-hand side. Has he got too much on that? Yes, he has. Power does his best to keep it in play. Nods it out. It's either going to go probably as a goal kick or it might even be a throw-in from where Power was. It was a decent delivery, but Bolton seems to be very confident defending that one. Just over 15 minutes, still goalless, but Bolton do lead 1-0 on aggregate. But will that give them a little bit of confidence that we've got in the Bolton half there? We've got a set piece, and maybe not happy they didn't create anything, but they've put Bolton under a bit of pressure, but they need to do more of that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to get those set-piece situations. I didn't think Bolton defended that particularly well, personally. I mean, the ball bounced. There's a bit of a hack. It bounced again into a crowd of players. Could have fallen for a Bradford player. And then there's a hurried clearance. There's another miss-hit, but they've still got a chance to clear their lines. So I personally didn't think they defended that well. OK, it didn't fall for a Bradford player, but I'd be licking my lips from the home side's viewpoint, in the sense if we get another ball, put it into the mixer, and we're going to cause problems. I mean, you don't necessarily want to rely on set pieces. I mean, it might win you a Premier League title, but you don't want to rely on them because they've got to do more from open play. They've got to get into those set piece winning situations, which they haven't really done yet. But they haven't leaked many chances, and we're still early in the game.
Just over 6.5 minutes played. Long ball forward, nodded on by Neuville, and into the arms of Bonnen. Was a physical collision in the middle there between Sheehan and Power, but as Rob said earlier, I do like how the referee is officiating this game so far. Right hand side offside 2-2. Brought down behind him is Kozia Dubry. Again, they are trying to get those, the likes of Poynton, Sarcevic, Power and Metcalf on the ball are Bradford. They've got obviously the width in the wing backs, but trying to get almost at 4, a bit more central, and trying to overload the middle. Thomas Kirk's having he wants to have a word, I believe, with Curtis Tilt about something. It is for the foul on Kozia Dubry. I thought it was Power who fouled him, but Tilt ran up, took him down, just a bit of shoulder to shoulder. I think he wants a word with him. More saying that that's not a yellow card, but calm down, it's a big situation. You've already hacked down offside 2-2 on the edge of the area. You're not seeing these yellow cards. I think it's just referee saying, look, just calm down, let's not get a little bit silly here, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first challenge was the more dangerous challenge, the one on the edge of the box, more dangerous as a shooting opportunity. I didn't think he did that much wrong with that particular incident, and I found it amusing that Erhan was talking to the referee, given he put in a challenge earlier on as well. He needs to be careful what he wishes for. I didn't think it was that bad, but again, it's sensible refereeing. He's got players in his ear, and he's just told him to calm down. He's not overreacted, and of course it was his second foul, not his first. So yeah, fair play to him. We'll see how he obviously refs the rest of the game as Bolton win a throw-in, back heel from I think that was Poynton didn't quite work. He looked frustrated, but it did look as though it came off him last. But yeah, I like the way he refed it, and he's given nothing silly, nothing soft. I didn't think it was the worst challenge, but of course, as you said, Tilt's made 2 challenges now, so just tell him to calm down.
I think he'll probably, if he can keep his yellow cards in his pocket, he'll be happy as well. Throwing on the right hand side for Bolton, almost bobbles into the feet of Tilt, who boots it long. There's a head tennis battle in the middle there between Burstow and Metcalf. Metcalf is the one who comes out on top, plays it short to Baldwin. Neuville on the right hand side, of course. Both the wing backs are, I'm sure, going forward will try to be wingers. Torre on the left hand side definitely is very advanced, right on the ball now. He tries to swing it out to the wing back. Nice touch, nice pass, and into the feet of Poynton. They're getting the field advantage at the moment. Bradford are getting on the ball, knocking it around. Poynton's got a 3v1 against him, loses it, and loses the ball as well as a whole, because it will go out for a throw-in, and looking very frustrated. Rob just pointed it out that Poynton looking a bit frustrated. I can imagine it's pretty hard for him coming in. He picked up a bit of a knock, I do believe, in the game against Bolton, in the regular season game, if you will. He played the full 90 minutes, but looked like he picked up a knock late on. Only played 18 minutes against Stevenage off the bench and missed the first leg entirely. That's a foul there by Wright. Of course, the Bradford bench don't think it is, but the referee has given it. Foul on Erhan there, so Bolton might even put the ball into the box. But At the moment, Poynton looking just a little bit off the boil, and I say, look, again, it's a big moment. He's a young player, a Bradford Academy player as well, so it's a big moment for him. And again, as a young player, he could come up with some magic. It could be something that this is a big expectation for him, and maybe he's just a little bit too quick and too soon back from that injury. But this Bolton free kick, it's about 15 yards into the Bradford half on the right-hand side, will be to be floated into the penalty area. Not away by Newville, just not a good free kick at all. Just put into an area, back to Sheehan, all the way back to the goalkeeper Bonham, and back to Sheehan. Just over 20 minutes played at Valley Parade. It's Bradford City 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. If you're joining us, warm welcome. It's playoff semi-final, League One, second leg. Say from Valley Parade goalless, but Bolton Wanderers leading 1-0 on aggregate. And now both teams, they've found a bit of a rhythm, haven't they? The first 5 minutes were it still feels cagey as a whole, but both teams have had those chances at a set piece here and there. Maybe Bolton the better of the two, but both teams now are just finding the feet a little bit more.
Yeah, I think although they haven't created much at all, I think Bradford have started to see more of the ball, and maybe they're just a bit too rushed trying to get it forward. Hasn't quite worked. But I thought earlier on Bolton looked a little bit more composed, more dangerous. They have had 3 shots and Bradford haven't had one yet, but none of them, one of those from 50 yards out. So, the stats only say one side of the story. Possession stats are only very marginally in Bolton's favour, but I think they're growing with Bradford right now. I think they've just enjoyed the last 5 minutes or so, despite a free kick here and there, but still no chances.
No real big ones to hammer home about. With a free kick maybe that was off the wall, that was an opportunity to be a big chance, but that was poor from Sheehan. Bolton have the ball inside their own area. Some big, not big tackles as in late ones, but just physical challenges going in so far. And I believe it's gone all the way out, maybe even for a goal kick. Has that ball. Or Sarswich, as I say, he'll be, I'm sure, looking to prove a point against his former side. They said he's not League One quality. Well, he scored that massive goal at the back end, on the last game of the season last year to send Bradford into League One. Sure, he's sitting there looking to prove his former employers wrong. Ball forward from Tull, down the right-hand side. Looking for Rodriguez, it'll fall for Burstow in the middle. Spread wide to the left-hand side to Sissoko. They've got space here. Have Bolton. Johnston looks to take it past Baldwin, but he's got 2 up against him in Baldwin and Newville. And Bradford come away with the ball. Power. Long ball forward for Jackson. Tull leaves it. Goalkeeper is very far back inside his own penalty area, so it's a nice little pass back for him. But Jackson is putting those defenders under a lot of pressure at the moment. Right with the header and out of play for a throw-in. And at the moment, what I would say is I don't think Burstow's struggling, but he seems quite isolated. He's up against 3 defenders, Jackson's up against 2. It's almost the opposite, because Jackson's not getting the support because he's got less bodies up there, but Burstow's up against 3v1, and we haven't really mentioned the forwards apart from pressing down the defenders at all, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think if this comes down to a physical fight, Bradford are going to win, and win quite comfortably. There's been a number of balls in the air, and you can see from the Bolton perspective, they're about 5 yards in front of the ball, because I'm assuming they're thinking, there's a big defender that's going to come and clatter me from behind. So if it comes down to a physical battle, I think Bradford will win. Maybe Bolton will find a bit of quality eventually, but at the moment, like you say, Burstow's isolated. Sissoko and Kozier. This could be a shooting opportunity. Ball into the box just on the back of the defender. It's a good strong challenge from Baldwin, but it took a double ricochet. He's gone behind for a corner kick. This is Bolton's first. It was a poor clearance from Baldwin in the first place, but he's certainly got the challenge in on Burstow. And an opportunity now. We'll see how good Bolton are in the air. I've suggested they're not very, but of course they can bring up the likes of Farino and Toll from the back.
They can. Maybe, as you said, outmanned in that degree. Of course, Bradford have got the back three of Wright, Baldwin and Tilt. Looking at goals from corners this season, Bolton are third in the division, but they only have 12, so it's a little bit off the top of the table. Will be an in-swinger from Rodriguez. Right arm is up in the air. Swings it into a decent area. Strike comes in. He gets it all wrong there. Does Toll. It falls, unfortunately, a little bit for him when he's coming away from the ball. He's not running onto it, and he just doesn't get any power behind it. Maybe the jump of Baldwin puts him off a little bit, and if that's a striker who just wants to hit it, does a little bit better. It falls a little bit awkwardly for the skipper there.
Yeah, it could be another opportunity actually, breaking off. Bradford have given the ball away pretty quickly as Johnson puts in a ball, looks too far in front of teammates, and it is I mean, that looks awkward because clearly he has no left foot.
Yes.
6 yards out, and he's almost going to his left and then tries to spin his body in the air and volley it with his right when it's on his left side. He's never going to hit the target. I mean, obviously in a crowded area, a left-footed shot might take a deflection. It's certainly easier to get it towards goal. Obviously, he's a defender. You know, he's not necessarily thinking straight in the opposing 18-yard box. If it's on his head, he's probably doing better. But he shouldn't have gone with his right foot there. It's almost impossible to score with his right foot unless he went with the outside of it, and of course he didn't.
No, he went with the inside. It was a poor effort. Bolton on the ball inside their own half. We're well over a few minutes over the halfway point here in the first half. Just over 25 minutes of play. It's Bradford 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Independent off-tube studio commentary of this playoff semi-final second leg from Valley Parade. Goalless between the two. Bolton on the 1-0 lead though on aggregate. And I'll pass you over to Rob to take us through to half-time.
Cheers, Lewis. Sissoko's on the attack down the left-hand side. Two challenges went in from Bradford. Maybe there was a foul on Johnston and he played the advantage, and then Sissoko went down again. He didn't get the free kick once more. It is a throw into Bradford there, halfway inside their own half as they look to just get something going. Not had a shot in anger yet, haven't the home side, but they're still only 1-0 down. Of course, they win by a goal, extra time, potential penalties. They're not out of it at all. Maybe not even if Bolton score first, because 2 goals isn't that much at this time of the game. Cross comes in from the left-hand side. It's high and hanging. It's nodded down. They're trying to keep it alive. Bradford. It's only stabbed clear as far as Baldwin, but Power's under a bit of pressure. Now Baldwin down the line, and Johnston's read the danger there. He attacked the ball going around his man, got to it, cleared it into touch, but again, an aerial challenge won by Bradford. I do think they've got the aerial superiority.
100%. You spoke about Jewels earlier. They're winning, 9 out of 10, if not close to 10 out of 10, Bolton. They are struggling at the moment. I think Jackson's doing really well. He's isolated, as I said, but I think he's doing ever so well to just hunt down the centre-backs, win his duels, and that's all you can ask for him. And look, if a chance falls for him, I'm sure he'll be happy to try and put it away. I think Metcalf and Power are trying to get on the ball a little bit more, and maybe a bit of momentum goes the way of Bradford. Are trying to come forward now too much on it, and a throw-in for Bolton, but still, as you said earlier, you still can just feel the tension in the stadium from both sides.
Yeah, so now evenly poised really. Obviously Bolton, I say even, Bolton have got a slight advantage with a goal lead. They might be a little bit disappointed it's not more than 1 goal. I know playoff football is different, but you look at all the goals they scored, well 46 of their 70 came at home, so they only scored 24 on the road as a shot comes in, and that looked dangerous for a moment but was always rising about 20 yards out. Didn't quite keep it down, but finally the Bantams have a shot to cheer about.
Yeah, and it was just a mistake at the back. Torre picked it up after a sloppy pass from Osai 2-2, and you don't, as you said, they haven't had a shot yet, so I assume that's Jackson going, you know what, it's a bit of a half chance if that. Let me try and maybe test the keeper. As you said, it's always rising because the defenders got back and helped out. But again, it's that first shot, isn't it? Get that first shot out of your system, nerves out, and they might create another one coming forward now. Yeah,
they want, the fans want something to shout about. Get on side, and of course, an attempt at goal. Took a while, but it's happened now. Might relax a few, who knows? This time, I'll say Tutu's won a free kick. He's going back towards his own goal line. And maybe there was a challenge put in by Sarcevic, but I bet Sissoko's thinking, it's not much contact, you give my teammate a free kick, but not me. Obviously it's in the Bolton half, a little bit less dangerous perhaps. Long ball downfield, this time Burstow does battle, wins the header, up in the air though, doesn't go very far. Torre up to the halfway line, where Jackson tries to bring it down. Poynton beaten in the tackle. Now it's with Osei Tutu. Bolton have it back. Osei Tutu, wrong foot's Poynton. Up towards the halfway. And it's then laid back by Rodriguez. And Johnson has it on the left-hand side for the Trotters. Sissoko is not afraid to try a nutmeg. Played it down the line. Urahan's made the run. Will he get there? No, he won't. It's a good run. It's a good idea. Slightly overhit pass. And I do think, actually, Urahan thought it wasn't travelling as quick as it was, and then there's a second burst to try and get the ball, but again, an attack breaks down.
It does, bit of a slick surface at Valley Parade, and as you say, the first bounce, it looked like he'd get there, took a second bounce, and it just went away from him. He's very close to getting it, so fair play, but at the same time, it's a little bit less on that pass, and he does get it. But again, both teams are almost just, they're not playing a pass into players' feet out, they're putting it into almost a position on the field. That ball there from left to right for Newville, it wasn't really for the wing back, it was, let me put it in there, Sartwich gets there, if Newville gets there, fair enough, and that's why I think both teams are finding it awkward to keep possession, but it's not into feet, it's just, right, we're going to put that ball into the area and hope one of our teammates gets on the end of it.
Bradford with a long ball forward, Jackson beaten in the air by Farino, headed into a dangerous area by Johnston, but it comes down for Sheehan after a little touch from Murahan in a crowd. Good ball out to Cozy Dewberry, right hand side. He doesn't have much support, kind of dwells in possession because of that, and then three Bantams dispossess him. Start to come clear with Toure, but Toure loses out to Cozy Dewberry, backtracking. Rodriguez, nice little 1-2, edge of the box, onto his right foot, shot, double ricochet. I think it might have come back off Rodriguez. In fairness, Walker gets across, all the pace had been taken out of it, and he's picked it up. Just for a moment it looked dangerous, but enough Bantams back there to prevent the shot.
Yeah, you spot on, just too many players back. Like you said, it looked like it was about to open up, and it was good from Rodriguez, quick feet and trying to create a chance, but when you play with this back three or back five, or you do like to look at it, you always do have players regrouping, don't you? So there's always an opportunity to have players there and players back to block the ball. So Rodriguez again trying to create something. That's where maybe you need again Cozy Dewberry a little bit closer, maybe Burstow or one of Arahan or Sheehan kind of supporting him, because he was on his own, but Rodriguez almost by himself there trying to bring Bolton forward.
Ossie Tutu was trying to steal about 20 yards on the throw-in. The crowd let the referee know he's still walking backwards. He's walked a long way there. Goes down the line this time with the throw-in. Rodriguez tries to hold it up, can't, tilts, lumps it forward to the edge of the box, partially cleared. Now Ossie Tutu puts his boot through it. No Bolton player in the Bradford half though, so this is an easy regain of possession for the home side, who haven't really threatened the Trotters yet. They have had one attempt as Cozy Dewberry under a little bit of pressure. Again, it's a hack clearance. He thought he'd beaten the first man, but the second quickly came to get in his face, and the ball is back at the feet of Walker. Long ball downfield. Toll wins the first header. I think it's slightly misjudged by Rodriguez, which has allowed Metcalf to pick it up. Power looks for a switch of play over to the left. Ossie Tutu makes sure it doesn't reach Toure. Bit of a hack into touch, but just the throw in to the Bantams into the 33rd minute. Still goalless, not many attempts in the game, certainly not many chances. Bolton are winning that particular stat 5-1, but 6-1, I beg your pardon, but nobody's saying Walker's made a save yet, so it doesn't really tell much of a story, other than Bradford are struggling as well.
Yeah, but both teams, that's one of them, isn't it, where both teams, I say Bolton have maybe got into the Bradford attacking areas a little bit more, but they haven't taken advantage of them. But yeah, both goalkeepers haven't been tested at all, have they? Maybe coming out and making a few, not saves, but catches from crosses, maybe that they're being kept busy. And I mean, at the moment, you would be much happier, I think, if you're Stephen Schumacher. I'm not saying that Graham Alexander will have wanted Bradford to be 3-0 up by now and coasting in the second leg, but I think he will have wanted a lot more from the first half. Won't he? Bolton have, as you said earlier, they've just come out and done the job, and they're coming forward with Sissoko now.
Sissoko, he has been a willing outlet. Johnson goes on the overlap, he's ignored him. Couple of step overs, left-footed cross, doesn't beat the man at the near post, happens to be right. They're still trying to clear their lines at Bradford, and eventually it's Baldwin who pumps it into the Bolton half. Toll is not quite all alone. Support comes though from his teammates, not Bradford attackers. And Bolton, well, they did progress into the Bradford half, but Ossie Tutu passes it back to Toll, and Bolton trying to start again. Sheehan closed down very quickly, plays it all the way back to Bonham, who floats it out to Johnston, immediately closed down, flicks it down the line to Sissoko, who's coming infield this time, but dispossessed by Metcalf. And now it's picked up by Sarcevic, who sets Newville away down the right-hand side. Thought about crossing, still going, eventually tries to. Johnston got the block in, But it's a corner, and they look dangerous from the first corner without a chance. Or at least Bolton didn't look convincing for me. Chance for Bradford again.
It'll be interesting to see as well that Power usually takes all the set pieces for Bradford, but that was an in-swinger from the other side, wasn't it? Will they continue with an in-swingers? Will Poynton take this one with the left boot, or will they try an out-swinger? Or it'll be Torre with his left boot. So, as you say, it's one of them, isn't it? It's only your second corner, so just put it in the mixer, as you said, and try and force Bolton into a mistake.
Yeah, 2 in-swingers so far. If this is delivered, it is in towards the near post. There's half a chance for Jackson, but he's beaten to the ball, and it's headed downfield all the way to the halfway line, and Bradford are forced back by the pressing of Cozier Dubre to play it all the way back to Walker. Cozier Dubre goes back into his own half. They're waiting for the long ball into the final 10 minutes of the first half. Don't think there'll be too much added time. There was a brief chat with Tilt from the referee, but that's about the only abnormal stoppage in the game. Real pressure at the back, and Bolton forced the turnover. They played it too early, probably, to Burstow. Again, there was a 3-on-3 after the turnover, but they've gone for the killer first-time ball, and it wasn't quite accurate enough. That's not the first time Bradford have been caught in possession.
No, it's not, and Metcalf now was under a lot of pressure, nearly taken off of him. As you said, I think it's a little bit too early. First of all, a lot more power on it than what it was needed there for Burstow, but also Sissoko was open, I thought, on the left-hand side. Maybe that was the better option. Here come Bradford, though. Down the channel themselves, but Tola's in front of Jackson and sliding clears it into touch. Yeah, it's good pressing from Rodriguez to force the error out of Power. But Erhan's played it early. Maybe it's not a 3-on-3, but if he plays it forward to feet, it's a 2-on-2. But he's trying to play it through into goal, a goal-scoring chance. I thought they could have done a bit better there, Bolton. Who knows whether they'll rue these little moments that they might have done something different with. It's still 0-0 on the night, which means Bolton are still edging this tie 1-0. Stockport away in the final. They've done their job. A real helping hand in the first leg, of course, with some terrible defending in stoppage time for Stockport. For Stevenage to allow Stockport to get the win, but a bit more convincing in their progression in the home leg. Fewest touches in the match. Sarcevic with 12, Jackson with 13, and Wright with 14, as Bradford are on the attack down the right hand side with Nerville, who plays it for Sarcevic, who closed down well by Erhan, who rides the challenge and then toes it down the line for Sissoko Enu, who tried to back heel. He beat the first man but not the second. He's giving it away. Crossfield pass is not good, and Bolton clear up to the halfway line. Burstow holds it up well. Cozier Dubre takes it on. He's got two to his left if he can find them. He's got almost chest pass by Baldwin into the path of Rodriguez. Rodriguez is in tug down tilt, and it's going to be a free kick to Bradford. Of course, if Cozier Dubre's cross had eluded the two, Sissoko's in the space. I don't know what Baldwin's trying to do, but he nearly passed it straight to Rodriguez. I mean, it'd been a lovely assist if Rodriguez would have got on the end of it. He's spotted. I don't know if he thinks Walker's a little bit close, so he's just trying to chest it down so he can come and claim it, but it's a poor chest anyway. Cozier Dubre, I think, unfortunately, he's got a great left boot, but if he's got a right boot, then he can maybe dink it over to Sissoko as well, and that's a better pass. It was, again, forcing a mistake from Bradford there, but again, it was a heart-and-mouth moment, I can imagine, for the Bantams, for the players on the field, and all the fans there, because it thought that Baldwin, again, had just set up Rodriguez there, and it, again, just seems to be that, you've already spoke about them losing the ball a few times, it just seems to be so tense to the hosts at the moment.
Max Power with the cross in from the left-hand side, and it's a little bit too close. Don't know if it took a deflection. It's an easy claim for Bonham, and Bolton back in possession themselves. Might have been Poynton, not Power, as it's rolled out towards Osei Tutu, and Bolton start again into the 39th minute, well into it. So a little over 6 minutes to go of the first half. I'm not thinking there'll be much added time, but who knows what may occur in the final 6 minutes of the regulation 45. Possession stats 50-50. One shot for Bradford. That was the long ranger from Jackson. 6 to Bolton, but of course one of those was 50 yards. One was into a wall. There's probably been a couple of other block ones. There was the clearance from Toll when he could have done better if he used his other foot. So Walker hasn't really been called into action either, despite 6 shots. Driving forward from deep is Toll. He's still going. He's held off 2 challenges. Works it out to Sissoko. Gets it onto his left foot. Shot blocked behind by Baldwin. Just the corner. First time we've seen Toll motoring forward from deep. And for a moment, Bradford couldn't live with him. Decent opportunity for Sissoko, but Baldwin did his job.
He did a good block from the defender, but that was fantastic from Toll, wasn't it? And sometimes you need that because the midfielders, obviously, being marked by midfielders, the attackers almost press and leave them, don't they? So Toll there, who's now gone down on the edge of the area, so holding his right hamstring or maybe his right thigh, so this will be a real disappointment if he has to go, if you can see the worried Bolton bench. But sometimes you need a centre-back to step up, take a risk, drive forward, create space, defended well by Bradford. But if Toll has to come off, this will be a massive miss because obviously he'll miss this game, and if Bolton go through to the final, who knows, he might miss that as well.
Yeah, and of course it'll teach him to run 50 yards and beat players. Obviously, immediately they'll miss his presence from the corner because he's getting treatment. Obviously, I don't think it's a foul, so it's just he's put under a little bit of pressure, just trying to work out where it came. His right leg seemed to go a fraction as he was put under pressure. He's back on his feet. He doesn't look too troubled. He was going to walk behind the goal, but I think the Bolton staff have suggested, well, if they score from the corner or we don't score from the corner, we want you back here. But he's not going to be able to attack this corner. First real stoppage of the game, of course, which might lead to a bit of added time. 0-0. It's only Bolton's second corner. It matches Bradford's total, so it's 2 apiece now. And of course, we haven't really had an effort at goal from the set pieces. But an opportunity to at least see. Depends on delivery, of course. Rodriguez across to whip it in towards the near post. Is punched away. An air shot on the edge of the box coming in from Kozia Dubre. It's now back on the halfway line. Sheehan tries to feed it out to the left. There's nobody there. And that is going to go out of play for Bradford. Throw. Presumably Toll, if he's fit enough, will be coming back on the field in a moment. Just see him actually still on the sidelines. It looks as though he's itching to get back on. So clearly the injury isn't too much of a problem. And just for a moment, I wasn't sure if Walker got his bearings right.
Yeah, he looked like a little bit worried, didn't he? And I don't know if that was going on target and that's what worried him, and he just tried to punch it away, almost flapped at it a little bit or not. But that was worrying there for Bradford for a second. And he's Toll is back on now. So, I mean, maybe as well, you're 5 minutes away from half time with stoppage time as well. So maybe he's thinking, let me just get into half time and have a look at it there. And as you said, that'll teach a centre back for running 40, 50 yards trying to maybe pull a hamstring.
Yeah, looking at Sissoko every time he's got the ball, he looks alive and he looks dangerous, but he keeps trying a nutmeg, and the nutmegs don't always work. But, you know, if he keeps trying it, one comes off, I'm sure it'll be spectacular. As Tom Cleverley in the crowd looking on.
I'm not sure why I mean, maybe just trying to see for next season, maybe some targets. I'm not too sure. Cosbody's in the Stockport manager there. I understand that one. I don't know if he was given a ticket for the evening. Was the former Manchester United player? Toll is coming off now, so that's a disappointment for Bolton. First of all, your skipper's gone off, so a big vocal leader's come off. Max Conway's going to come on, and I think if you're Bradford, you've got to think, right, these last few minutes, your skipper's gone off. It's going to be a change at the back. We've got to take advantage of this in the last few minutes.
Yeah, we'll see how they set up. Well, that is a big blow. Aerial presence, leader. He's not too bad with the ball at his feet as well, shooting aside as the long free kick comes into the box. Volley, took a deflection, and it's gone wide. Metcalf with his strike on the volley, 25 yards out. Bonham was not moving. If this is on target, it could be a spectacular goal. I think the deflection actually got it going towards a little bit more towards the goal. If it didn't hit the head of Rodriguez, it was going well wide, but it wasn't that far away.
No, it wasn't. He hit it really sweetly, didn't he? As you say, almost curves towards the goal and away, but a corner coming up in swinger from Torre.
Yeah, in towards the near post, and it's headed away well by Farino, taking charge because it was about 2 yards from the goal line. It's hooked back in, stabbed away, and there is a break on. It's 4-on-2. Played forward. That's a little bit aimless in the end from Burstow. He's got it back. I'm not sure if he meant to pass it to Sissoko. He's got it to him, and then Toure on the wrong side is putting the challenge. This time Sissoko does get a free kick. It's another break that I think Bolton have not played well. They should have done better than that. And I don't know if Burstow miscontrolled it twice. But in the end, they were probably just lucky to get a free kick.
Yeah, I think they were lucky to get that second chance to come forward with Sissoko. You're right, it was a touch in tilt. It's a poor clearance from tilt, isn't it? And then it falls back for Bolton. So lucky in the sense that, like I said, they just didn't take advantage of that. They need to play the pass, drive forward, do whatever they got to do. But now, just as we're back to the 45th minute mark, this is a great time to score if you're Bolton.
Yeah, it's a wide angle, but there's a one-man wall, and Rodriguez is stepping over it, whips it into a dangerous area, headed away by Bradford, up and over everybody, but it's gone behind for a corner kick. 45 minutes is ticking over. We have had an injury and a substitution, so we might get a couple of minutes or so, 3 in fact. It's flashed up on our screens. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary, still goalless on the night, and although the keepers have not been called into action really, there's been a couple of close efforts. Help of a deflection moments ago at the other end from Metcalf. I mean, Toll's chance actually is a pretty decent one in the context of the game. He just used his wrong foot. He went right-footed instead of left 6 yards out. So away swinger for Bolton. Was there a tug back? Slightly miscued. Farino was the target. Eventually pointing clears not very well. It's picked up and a shot comes in from 30 yards out. Is still rising, and that's a bit disappointing. Couple of minutes of stoppage time to go. And again, personally, I'm thinking shooting from distance belies a lack of confidence, really.
Yeah, instead of just having the ball, trying to build up an attack. I think I was watching it back. There was a pull of the jersey there on offside 2-2, as well as tilt with the pull on the jersey there from Farino. I don't think the foul's, but I think it could be quite clumsy because you won't. I've credit to the Bolton players not going down, they're not fouls, but if maybe, the Bolton player goes down, says ref, he's pulled my shirt, we've seen him being given and things like that, but yeah, Cozy Dewberry's got a great strike in him, but that one is still rising, it's probably on Midland Road by now.
Yeah, I think, again, I referenced the Premier League because of VAR. If that's in the Premier League, you're going to get a penalty. I think he's holding the ball, holding the jersey just as he's pulling the trigger, kind of tugs him out of the way, but fair play to Farino. He's used to it. He didn't bat an eyelid, and play continues. About a minute left of added time. Ball's at the feet of Walker. It's passed back though to him by Wright, so he has to clear as he's closed down. Farino wins a header, offside given, and tell you what, Jackson doesn't agree. Doesn't agree with that decision.
No, not for the first time this evening. But you said about Jules, didn't you? And you were spot on early on. But I think Farino against Jackson. Farino's now getting the better of Jackson, and that's really frustrating the Bradford forward. Yeah,
they're running out of time anyway. Both sides to get a goal at the end of the first half, because we're into the 3rd minute of stoppage time, and Bonham's not in a particular rush to take this offside free kick, as he arrows it out now to the left-hand side. Nodded down. Sissoko flicks it up in the air, but to no one in particular. Headed back though by Sheehan. Burstow goes down under a little bit of pressure. He's not going to get the free kick. The referee's not really falling for those, but really fighting for the ball. Conway's won it back. Lovely turn from Erhan. And now Conway dinks it forward, but he was just about to be tackled. Sissoko was static, wasn't making the run that the pass was probably intended for. And it's cleared up to the halfway line, back into Bolton territory, who go back to Bonham. He's going to launch it downfield. The referee looks at his watch and he calls time. Nothing has been settled in this first half. It's still on a knife edge. Bradford 0, Bolton 0. Bolton lead 1-0 on aggregate.
half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Valley Parade, and it's goalless between Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Wanderers do lead 1-0 on aggregate. A first half that was very tense between the two sides. Not even a shot on target so far. Bradford have only had 2 which have gone wide of the mark. And Bolton with 8, all 8 wide of the mark. 3 of them have been blocked. No real big chances to shout home about. Tall with the best. He went off with an injury, the Bolton skipper, but a half-time all to play with as it's goalless. Half-time at Val. Well, it is a warm welcome back to this evening's independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Valley Parade in the second leg of the playoff semi-finals as Bradford City host Bolton Wanderers. It's currently goalless coming into this second half. A real nervy first 45 minutes, very much mimicking the first 45 minutes of the first leg. Goalless in the tie, but in the advantage it is for Bolton. It's 0-0 on the night, but Bolton lead 1-0 due to Cozy Adubri's strike in the first leg. Of course, that did come just on the hour mark in the first leg, of course in the second half. So, who knows, history might repeat itself in this second leg. Could it be for Bolton? Could it be for Bradford? I was looking at the stat before the game. Bolton with the most draws in the division. So, you'd have to say, as long as that goes away for Stephen Schumacher, they'll be finding themselves in the playoff final in just over a week's time. Here come Bradford though. Early on, Metcalf has opened up some space. He goes for a curling strike. It just goes wide. Open up for him there. A better start, a more intent and attacking start from the Bantams. Power just pokes it through for Metcalf, going for a curling effort. He had Bonham scrambling, it had to be said, but it was always going wide. He did have Sarcevic in front of him, but fair enough, going for the shot. That's as close as the Bantams have come, and to be quite honest, that's as close as we've come in the game as a whole. There has been a substitution at the break for Bradford, none for Bolton. They did have one in the first half, but Curtis Tilt has made way for Tyreek Wright. My assumption will be that Ibu Torre joins in as a back three, and Tyreek Wright will play wide on the left-hand side. Bolton did make a change in the first half. Skipper Owen Toll went off with what looks like maybe a hamstring injury. On in his place came Max Conway, so still willing to see possibly they might have even gone to a back three. So we'll have to wait and see how both of them play out. Ball forward, foul by Rodriguez on a back-tracking Baldwin. So free kick for Bradford just outside their own penalty area on the right-hand side. Quickly then the four lineups. It's Walker in goal for the Bantams. A back three of Joe Wright, Baldwin and Torre. Newfield off the right and Tyreek Wright off the left. Max Power, the skipper, is partnered by Metcalf in the middle. And it's Poynton, Jackson and Sarcevic as a forward three for the Trotters. It's Bonham in goal. Looks to be at the moment a back three of Osai Tutu, Farino and Conway. Johnston maybe off the left, Koji Dubry off the right maybe as a wing back, with Erahon and Sheehan the two holders, and Sissoko, Rodriguez and Burstow forward three. Newville there trying to get in front of Conway to win the ball. He did well to do it as well, nearly catching Bolton a little bit cold there, but the referee does give the... Well, I say apologies, the referee, the linesman originally put the flag open, and the referee this evening, Thomas Kirk, obliges and agrees with him. He's getting a bit of an earful from Graham Alexander, the Bantams boss, on the sidelines. I can imagine he's frustrated, but I've wanted more from his team in the first half. I can imagine, though, looking at the substitution from at least a positive aspect. Tyreek Wright coming on as a wing back. He is a winger, realistically. He's a former Plymouth man, so he will be a very attacking wing back. I'm sure Torre as well on the left hand side of that back three. He's going to get forward and support almost as a full back. It is a goal kick for the Bantams. Goes forward looking for Jackson. Him and Farino have had a great battle this evening. Falls for Rodriguez, tries to play it forward, well intercepted there by Baldwin into Newville, lets it run, and unfortunately it runs, like I said, he wants it into feet there, just a little bit too much power. Baldwin just trying to poke it forward, so out of play for a throw-in for Bolton on the left hand side, just inside their own half. Still waiting for it to be taken. It goes all the way back to Johnston. As I said, looks like he's a part of that back three maybe. I say that just because Osai Tutu is a little bit further back than he was. Johnston off the left, Osai Tutu off the right, and centrally Farino. That'll be a foul against Jackson as a ball forward for him, and he doesn't really flatten Johnston. I think Johnston throws himself back, but Jackson a little bit too further forward there. Of course, Tilt coming off at half time. He already had a late foul on Osai Tutu, and maybe lucky to escape a yellow card in the first half. Possibly that's why Graham Alexander's took him off. You do lose his height from set pieces, or you'd have to say, whether that's from an attacking or defensive point of view. Ball forward. from the free kick for Bolton. Headed away well by Baldwin there. Sarcevic tries to bring it down. Still, you can just feel the tension at Valley Parade between the two sides. And it's absolutely packed out Valley Parade. There's always come out in the support as much as they can do. The Bradford faithful. I can imagine as a home player or as a visiting player, it can go either way, can't it? The magnitude of the occasion can get to you too much. It can really help you. It can boost you up. As an opposite player, it could make you shrink. It could make you think, right, I want this stage. It's going to be a packed out Wembley, so you've got to be prepared for it. Right hand side, ball goes to the right side to Newville. Sarcevic, Sissoko comes away with the ball, pokes it forward. Rodriguez is now driving forward with space. Cuts back, goes Dubry's on the right hand side. Back to Sissoko. That's a poor pass back into it. At the moment, just no one can get the foot on the ball. Up in the air. Metcalf a little bit silly there, just to push Aaron in the back there. He looked back, he always knew what he was doing. He was almost just teasing Metcalf. Come on, push me over. That's what I want. Bolton take it quickly, and it's poor. Poynton looks to go over the top to Jackson. Not enough on it. Farino nods it back. Lovely pass to Cozy Dubry there on the right side from offside 2-2. Not forward to Burstow, but that's a poor first touch there, and out of play for a throw-in. Linesman there just saying, just calm down. Torre with a little bit of push in the back there on Burstow. He wasn't let the full back get the ball. Power just swings one to the right hand side. They've done a lot of that. Both teams, it's almost not picking out a teammate. It's just, right, we're going to put the ball into this area. Hopefully one of our teammates gets on the end of it. Joe Wright puts his body in front of Rodriguez and he wins a free kick as well. Good play from the defender there. Not the first time we've seen someone do that. Rodriguez a little bit frustrated that that's given, but you'd like to think, wouldn't you, that if that was for his defender, he'd want that to go his way. Ball forward once again. A battle between Farino and Jackson. The Bolton Wanderers defender getting the best of most of them. That's the pot header back from Baldwin. Is he going to get there? Yes, he is. Sissoko was hunting him down. Plays it back to Walker, who will lump it away, looking for Jackson. He does win that one. Falls for Sarcevic. It's a heavy first touch. Cleared away by Farino off of Sarcevic. Offside 2-2 does well to come away with the ball. Takes it past Poynton to the man who was a difference maker in the first leg in Cozy Dubry. He's supposed to go back though to Johnston. I say it looks like it is still a back four, not going to a back three as I may have alluded to. Looks like Johnston has just slotted in at centre back next to Farino, and Conway's at left back with offside 2-2 at a right back. Nice pass into Rodriguez. Out to the left hand side to Sissoko. He's been electric so far. Plays it down the line to Rodriguez. Opportunity to put a ball into the box. He does. Sam Walker comes and claims good alert goalkeeping there. He tells his teammates, come on quickly, we need to go. Time is our enemy. There is a lot of time of the second half left, but the longer it stays at 0-0, the longer frustration will build at Valley Parade. The longer frustration will build the fans, the players. More Bolton might just decide to drop off and just accept that 1-0 aggregate lead they've got, and just accept that Bradford are going to come forward. Of course, they've got a great home record, do the Bantams. Ball switched from left to right. Headed away there by Conway. It takes Nick off of Newville. Trying to play for a throw-in. Conway will be the man to take. Into Aaron. Back to Conway, who plays it long. Nice interception from Baldwin. Metcalf. First time pass goes back to Walker. Very scrappy in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Approaching 55 minutes on the clock. Tyreek Wright. Back to Torre. Looks to go long once again for Jackson, but well overhits that one. Poynton looking to get on the end of the second ball. He does. Continues to drive forward. A side 2-2 all over him like a rash. He does really well. Goes forward there. Wins a free kick, and we've already spoke about set pieces. That could be a massive way back into the game for Bradford. It's been really scrappy opening to the second half, but Poynton does well. Very similar to how his defender got his body in the way a couple of minutes ago in Bolton. Just gets his body in the way, and offside 2-2 was all over him. Anyway, it's myself, Lewis Raftery. I'm joined by Rob Editic through the second half of independent off-tube studio commentary coverage of the second leg, the playoff semi-final. It's Bradford 0, Bolton Wanderers 0, but Bolton do lead 1-0 on aggregate Just over 10 minutes of the second half played, and Power has the opportunity to really swing one in now. High and wide on the left-hand side. Ball comes in. Keeper comes to punch. He just puts it up in the air. It's a melee inside the 6-yard box, but the referee's given a foul inside it. Our cameras, broadcast pictures do point towards Sarcevic. It was an absolute melee in the box. Bonham might have taken a real whack in the ribs after coming out there. Watching it, Wright's there. Maybe his own defender as well. And Conway's on the deck. Big melee. Not really confidently defended there by Bolton. Really the first half chance opportunity to get a ball in the box in the second half. And well, Rob, they did make a change at half time to Bradford. Tyreek Wright coming on for Curtis Tilt, and Ibu Torres just gone into that back three, and Tyreek Wright's now on the left hand side as a wing back. It's an attacking change, but with how scrappy this second half has been, no team similar to the first half has really got control or a foot in the game at the moment.
No, and again, set piece, I mean, they could be so key. I mean, the chances, as you talked about, few and far between. So set pieces, I think that's decent delivery. It does look a foul, I have to admit. Not necessarily on the keeper, but I think Conway was tugged. So maybe that was the foul. I didn't honestly think the award of the free kick was a foul. Bolton have won the ball back high up the pitch, only for Erhan then to play a too hasty ball out towards Sissoko because he doesn't find his target. He's broken the line there, and they're running at the defence, but he's passed it straight away. That's not the first time Bolton have done that. I don't know if it's a specific game plan or it's nerves. It looked to be a chance to attack there, but again, comes to nothing. Yeah,
we're really waiting for that first real clear-cut, real big chance in this game. We spoke about with how scrappy, intense it's been. It could be from a set piece. A good delivery comes in, you never know. Pointon picks it up, plays a lovely pass into Tyreek Wright. He's driving forward, plays it into Jackson inside the penalty area. Is it possibly offside? Lines with the flag goes up. Gets a shot on goal. Fortunately, a good save out of the goalkeeper. He was always in an offside position coming back, and I think Tyreek Wright was always looking to say, look, get back on side, I'll play that ball into you. It was very close, and it is very close, but I think he's just on side. I think the right leg of Conway, is he keeping him on? It is very close, but it was a good sequence to play from Bradford.
Yeah, I personally think it was onside. You never quite know how tight these offsides can be, but I think the flag's gone up erroneously there. I mean, I know they don't have VAR to correct it, so he's got to make a decision, and I'm not going to argue either way in the sense that it's not blatantly obvious. But it was tight. But having said that, Jackson took forever to take his shot. He was almost tackled, and the angle narrowed, and Bonham made the save anyway, so it's not exactly costly. They might have had a corner out of it, but yeah, I thought he was onside, I have to admit. And maybe that back line of Bolton's creaking a fraction.
Yeah, we'll have to. I was saying, I wonder if maybe Bolton gets to a certain point, maybe 75 minutes on the clock. Do they just sit back? Do they accept the 1-0 aggregate lead they've got? Bradford are finding their foot in this game. Power sprays a lovely ball out to Tyreek Wright on the left-hand side. Cuts inside, lovely chop inside. Takes it down the byline. Once again, ball into the boxes. Blocked away. Was that out for a corner? I think or was a throw-in. I mean, the referee looked to me like it might be pointing for a goal kick, but no, it is a throw-in for Bradford. Torre whips a ball into the box. It's a decent one. Dealt with the bite for Reno, and then the clearance from Koji Dewberry, who just absolutely whiffs at it. It looks like offside 2-2 might have gone down, so there might be a little bit of a pause in play here. Not sure. It looks like, again, might be a muscle injury. I'm not too sure how that's come about. Maybe when he was defending Tyreek Wright, I'm not too sure, but it was an attacking change at half time. Tyreek Wright is basically a winger. He can play on that forward three quite easily. He's a left-sided player. He's brought a lot more attacking edge. At least Torre, he's that traditional wing back. Get up and down, he'll defend, will attack well. But right, pacey forward, always wants to get on the front foot, and he's brought a bit more of that attacking edge that Bradford maybe lacked in the first half. Yeah,
I mean, he was trying to get a bit of treatment before the first throw-in. Of course, it was restarted. I was wondering if it was just tactical. I know they do it these days, because he'd just been turned in and out, and he perhaps just wanted to breathe there. I mean, he did his job. He blocked the cross. But he didn't go down. But he's just appealing to get some treatment, and of course nobody's going to stop. and they took the throw in Bradford. So I don't know whether it's tactical. The fact that he's getting a few drinks and whatever they give to them would suggest that, well, he's coming back on, or he's going to continue, should I say. But having said that, looking at the TV pictures we've got, it looks as though Bolton are not going to keep all of their players. Bradford, they're about to make a triple change, I think.
They've only made that one change at half-time. It looks like it's a triple one coming on to the field of play. Metcalf will be one of the players to go, along with Poynton. Looks like it was Humphreys, Lapsley and Nick Powell who was coming on, so just wait for full confirmation of all the changes. Looks like it will be like for like, you would think, with all of them. Maybe Humphreys is on for Jackson as the third one, but just over an hour played. If you're joining us, it's a warm welcome. It is Bolton 0, Bradford 0. So Metcalf right, Joe right, and Poynton are off. Humphreys, Powell and Lapsley on. So bringing those three players off, might signal a change at the back, maybe back to a back four possibly.
Well, I mean, they've got to. They've got to change something. It's all very well, keeping Bolton at arm's length, but they've still got to score. So obviously mixing up. He tried bringing them right, which looks as though it's going to have an impact, I reckon, particularly if Osei Tutu can't continue. I think he will, but it just might be right made way as well. As you mentioned, so yeah, it looks like a change, more attacking, flat back four, but is it going to be a flat back four? It might just be two at the back, because they've got to get a goal, otherwise the season's over.
Coming forward now with Power, Lapsley as well, he came on, so again maybe Humphreys off the left hand side. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's looking like a back four, maybe if Newville, Baldwin, Torre, Tyreek right off the left hand side. As you said, it's not really a back four, but that's what it is on paper. Looking like that, there may be a midfield four of almost Sarcevic off the left, a midfield two of Power and Powell, as well as Jackson and Sarcevic. Looking more like that. Bolton already in two changes in just a moment as well, so they're almost responding to those changes. Dalby, is he coming on possibly? No, they're not going to make them just yet, but those changes have made it interesting. But as I was saying before, the triple change, just over an hour played at Valley Parade. It's Bradford City 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. A real tense evening so far, but an aggregate, of course, Bolton lead 1-0. So as it stands, they'll be going to the playoff final at Wembley on the 24th of May. And they're coming forward here with Cozy Dewberry down the right hand side, runs down the byline, floats one into the box, but it's catching practice for Walker. He just floated it. It's on his weak boot, never really got any power behind it, and it was easy for Walker, who gets his head up and boots it long straight away, looking for Powell. Also, they've added a lot of height in the attacking areas. I mean, for the moment, it looks even more like maybe Lapsley's just joined. It's just Power sitting back with Baldwin and Torre almost as a free, if you will, and everyone else go forward, find some spaces and find some goals. That's a poor touch from offside 2-2. He's back on the field after he needed that medical assistance, and he boots it long. Walker's going to chase it down to keep the ball in play. Could have just let it go out for a goal kick, and quickly got one of the balls from outside the area, if you will. But Bolton are going to make that double change. And is that a response, do you think, to Bradford bringing fresh legs on, just to say that, look, we've got fresh legs, and maybe even offside 2-2 might be a departure?
Yeah, I mean, he's picked up a little knock. I don't know if it was tactical, but yeah, it's allowed Stephen Schumacher to come up with a game plan, how he's going to fix this. I mean, they need chances. Both sides need chances, I reckon. Bolton basically just to kill the game off. If Bradford haven't scored in 154 minutes, getting 2 in the last 26 is nigh on impossible, just on the same sort of strike rate. And of course, Bradford need a goal, otherwise their season's over. So they've made 4 changes. It looks like a back 4. They're just going to have to risk it. What Bolton are doing, not quite settled there. It's a very sort of tight back 4. I don't think they've dropped any additional numbers in there. But, yeah, I mean, chances in the second half are having fewer than the first.
Yeah, I thought it'd open up a little bit more in the second half. We were speaking at half time, and if anything, it's gone the opposite way. It slowed down, if anything. Looks like the double change will be Sissoko and Rodriguez, the 2 players going off. confirmation of who's coming on. We'll have to wait and see. Is it defensive changes because you've got the attacking midfielder and the left winger coming off? Coming on are Gale and Dalby. So you would imagine they are like for like, but just fresh legs on the field. And maybe as well what Stephen Schumacher is thinking is, at the minimum, yes, Bradford made more changes, but our players, we need to make them because we named an unchanged side from the first leg. We don't want our players running out of gas and fatiguing late on.
Yeah, I mean, fatigue, I don't think he's played at that helter-skelter pace, though. It looks as though Dalby's gone ahead of Burstow, so he might just be playing off the front man. It might have just been that little attack. Dalby, Bolton's top scorer. But if they don't get the ball in the box, which they're struggling to do, he's unlikely to score. Ball over the top for Bradford, and Osei Tutu has done just enough. He's under real pressure to clear his lines, but he has done good defending from the man who was looking like he was injured moments ago. Again, it looked a little bit dangerous from Bradford's viewpoint, but no end product, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, it was a decent ball over the top, dealt well with by Osei Tutu, as Rob said, ball from left to right. Well kept in there by Newville, and he's trying to track down to win the ball back, but Bolton do just clear it. Looking at the second half as a whole, stats wise, we had one shot, and that was off target. That was Metcalf's strike inside the first 2.5 minutes. The curling effort that went wide just outside the D of the penalty area, 0.02 XG, so that tells you how much of a high quality chance it was. That's the only shot we've got in the second half. More possession, 56 for the Bantams, but as Rob said, if anything, again, I covered the first leg, and I know in the back of the minds you'll think, well, we have a second leg so we can open up a little bit more. But in the first leg, it was very mirrored it. It was very tense in the first half, and Bolton opened up and came forward. I'll pass it over to Rob in a moment, as that's Paul from offside 2-2, and Humphreys picks it up. He drops back and he needs some support. He'll find it in right. Of course, now Tyreek Wright, the only right on the field after Joe Wright went off in the triple substitution for the Bantams. Humphreys 1-2 with Lapsley, well defended by Osu 2-2, but out for a throw-in. But they're linking up a lot better now. And if anything, as I said to you a few moments ago, I thought the second half Bradford would have to open up. They'd have to come forward. They made the changes, but he just feels more tense than the first half at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're the better of the two sides, though, up to a point. An acrobatic attempted clearance hasn't gone very far. Could be a shooting opportunity for Bradford. It's killed towards the top corner, tipped onto the post and over the bar. Power it was, and flinging himself to his left. Bonham, I think he got a touch. Certainly the crossbar looked involved as well. Yeah, fingertips onto the bar. That's how sort of tender and narrow Bolton's lead is. Woodwork and a fingertip save has come to their rescue.
If it wasn't for that fingertip save, it probably either trickles in at the top of the net or might even just go off the underside of the bar or in the back of the net. Big chance, biggest we've had in the second half. So it will be a corner for the Bantams. It's a terrible delivery from Wright on the right-hand side. Doesn't even beat the first one. It bobbles before it even gets there, so it doesn't get any height on it. And that'll be a big moment in this game. It's going to be a throw in here, and Bradford do like to go long sometimes. Sometimes I like to go long and then play it short and then put a cross into the box. Newsville is the man on the right-hand side. They still have a packed-out penalty area. Of course, we've got that many attacking players on the field now, Bradford. That'll be it for the rest of the game. They almost have to, as Rob said, if they don't score, the season's over. Correctly pointed out, they've almost got to be happy to concede and lose this game in hopes of going forward and winning it. Torres swings one into the box. Baldwin brings it down. Powell's battling for it, but Sheehan will get there first and clear it away. All the way to Torres, just inside his own half. Looking for options on the left-hand side. Into right. First time pass into Lapsley, who's a little bit deeper and not as part of that attacking two, if you will, more in a central midfielder role next to Power. Lapsley, that's a heavy touch. Finds it into the skipper Power. He'll swing one out to the right-hand side looking for Jackson. Takes it down on his chest, does well to keep a hold of the ball. He's battling away into Sarcevic and back to Baldwin. So this is good possession for the Bantams. A good sequence, of course. They just had that big chance with Power. It wasn't in the penalty area, but he struck it so well. Did the Bradford skipper. Sarcevic to the right hand side to Newville. Tries to take it past Gale. That's last off of him. He does really well defensively. Clears it away, clears it off of Newville and out for a throw-in, and maybe that's just fresh legs getting back there, but that's again, it's not like a one-on-one chance or a big opportunity, but that's the biggest we've got so far, and Bonham coming up big with a big save.
Yeah, massive save. I mean, it's a fingertip save, but the touch is just needed because it hits the crossbar. A decent strike as well. Try to just coax it into the top corner. Lovely effort from Power. The fans behind the goal were almost going up thinking it got past him, but it hasn't. But they have been the better side in the second half. Having said that, they need more productivity. They're still trailing the shot count overall 4-8. And they've only had 2 shots in the second half. I know they've kept Bolton very quiet, but they've got to get it in the box a little bit more.
Power's trying to drive forward here. Tyreek Wright on the underlap. He plays it into him, into the penalty box. Takes a deflection. Touch by Jackson. Sarcevic trying to get there. Maybe that touch from Jackson took it away from Sarcevic. But that was a lovely play on the left-hand side. Power driving forward. Tyreek Wright, the deflected cross. Don't know how good of a or how bad of a cross. You don't know it would have been without the deflection. Torres swings it to the left-hand side. Tyreek Wright, nice first touch to bring it down. Back heel from Humphreys. Wright will swing one into the box. Header comes in from Powell and it goes wide. Just a little bit behind him, and he had to get back and really get underneath it there. I don't think it was a bad ball from Tyreek Wright. Maybe, if anything, Sarcevic would have been better, would have been cleared away, I'm not too sure. But Bradford are getting on top. Less than 20 minutes to go. We're halfway through this second half. Just over 71 minutes played. We're in the 72nd minute. It's Bradford 0, Bolton 0. But the Wanderers lead 1-0 on aggregate. And to take us through to full time, pass you over to Rob.
Yeah, cheers, Lewis. Last 10 minutes, 72% possession for Bradford. Obviously, the closest they've come is that strike from Power. Fingertips onto the box. It's only just outside the D. It wasn't massively from distance. Power's just given it away. A chance for Kozia Dubry. Tries to work a 1-2 into the D. Great last-ditch challenge from Toure to scramble it away from Kozia Dubry. And again, another let-off for Bradford in the sense they gave the ball away in their own half. But they have been the better of the two sides in this second half. And they're coming again down the left-hand side as Wright works a 1-2. The referee played an advantage. Bit of a tug back from Burstow, but Bradford still have it on the left-hand side. Powell, Wright into the left edge of the box. Shot blocked into the side net, and the keeper diving the other way. And Farino, it was a big unit to try and get round. It is a corner. Pressure's building.
I wonder if that was maybe being dragged wide or might have been on target, but nearly that block takes a Bonham had already committed to go to his left, so couldn't have gone back up. And you speak about mistakes. I want a mistake from Farino, but that could have been, you know, you leave a leg out, you leave your body out, and it goes over the goalkeeper so close. Bradford are the ones pushing, but the time is running out, and time could be the enemy come the 90th minutes.
Yeah, the subs appear to have made a pretty immediate impact as the cross comes in. Doesn't really beat the man at the near post. It's headed away. I mean, there is a Bradford player in the vicinity, but it was just a fraction too far away from him. Ball down the line looking for Power. Perhaps trying to be a bit too clever there. It's over hit. Power had to get back on side first, and he can't then change his angle quick enough to keep that ball in. But there's still plenty of time left, in the sense that really Bradford only need a goal, take it to extra time and build from there. Certainly the momentum is building in the Bantam's favour. XG is not fantastic, but possession stats might just, you know, create one or two more opportunities. Wright, Powell, Lapsley, they're all getting involved, as is Humphreys as well. Probably one-touch stuff. It didn't look to me as though anybody touched that as Powell tried to con the referee. Farino was trying to stick his leg out around Powell. It didn't look to me as though Farino touched it, and the referee agrees. And of course Bradford a bit frustrated. Time continues to tick. 16 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Graham Alexander trying to re-energise his troops. Another double change coming up for the Trotters. Obviously they've only made the 3 so far, so it's actually the last 2 changes. Of course, the first half injury was enforced. Bit of a grabbing match, Baldwin and Dolby. Baldwin's penalised. It was obvious that Baldwin had hold of Dolby, dragged him right down, but what he's suggesting is that Dalby grabbed him first, as the double change he's made, a little bit risky maybe. 5 changes will be made with 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's why Graham Alexander hasn't gone to his bench for that last one just yet. Whereas right, Bolton with his double change coming up, it will be all 5. So if a player picks up an injury or anything, maybe no one's on a yellow card for Bolton, but maybe a red card, who knows, something like that, and you can't then make a change. It's a little bit risky, right, from Stephen Schumacher. And now this is where it gets to that real. It's been tense all evening long. But it gets really tense now because Bolton don't want to make a mistake. It'll be Aaron and Burstow coming off McAtee and Simons. And it's also like for like, isn't it? It's not like you're bringing a striker off and a midfielder on or a defender. It's going to be the same. So, yeah, Bolton, it could backfire against them.
Yes, I was a bit surprised last night when Celtic did it in that game. Of course, didn't pick up an injury. They ended up winning. Doesn't always. It's a risk. It doesn't mean it's a catastrophe. Could work. Obviously, it is fresh legs. Burstow's been running around trying to lead from the front defensively. Hasn't had many opportunities to shine. Bolton free kick launched into the box, but there's an offside or a foul, one way or the other. It's a free kick to Bradford with 14 minutes to go at Valley Parade. Independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. It's as tense as you like in this game. Playing out on the field in front of us, on the pictures in front of us, because Bolton haven't had a shot. Last time they came to Valley Parade, which was 2-3 weeks ago, they had 17, and they haven't had a second half shot. They did have 8 in the first, as Sarcevic puts an early ball diagonal out to the right hand side. It's a good ball as well. Jackson will keep it in, 1-on-1 with Conway at the moment. Supporters arriving in the box. It's a low ball in. Sheehan guides it away straight back to Jackson, who fired it back in. He could have let it go for a corner. He just drilled it in hard and low, and this time it's cleared up to the halfway line. That didn't look convincing from Sheehan, but Bolton get away with it for the time being. So the throw-in is down the line, and a player's gone down clutching his head. I think Conway has suggested that, he's definitely gone with his boot. He suggested that Jackson's ducked into it. Might be a bit harsh. You can see that his head's there. And he's kicked at it. Yeah,
he's put his head in that dangerous area where most people don't want to put the boot. He catches him. I feel for Conway there, because it is a high boot, but he is going for the ball, isn't he? It's one of them that usually are given. Just going back to that Jackson chance, he does well to keep it in play, but I wonder if he would have let it roll out for a corner as well to get that set piece. They've got one now, and as you said, Bolton have got the backs against the wall. I think Bradford, they're really pushing, as you said about the subs as well. They've made an instant impact, but still in search of that goal to equalise on aggregate.
Set piece coming up, right wing free kick towards the far post. Dolby's headed back to the edge of the D into a central position. That was risky. It's picked up by Wright, out to the left hand side. Cross comes back in from Sarcevic, cleared momentarily. Played into the box. Ossie Tutu is trying to let the ball run. Can't, but he does well. Clears downfield. Not only that, he's found his teammate as well, Kozia Dubry. But he in turn can't find McAtee, and so Bradford back in possession on the halfway line. Still 0-0 on the night, which means that Bolton are going through to the Wembley final after their first leg success. Aiming for the crowds. That clearance. Johnston finds touch, but it's still inside his own half. Bradford come again. They've worked it to Jackson. He's using his strength. Cross comes in. They're asking for a handball. It's hit Conway. It's gone behind. It will be a corner. It was really close to Jackson. It'd be tough to give a penalty, I think. They're asking the question. It has hit the hand, no doubt about it, but I don't think he stuck out the hand personally. The hand is there. It's the hand behind the body, not the one in front. I don't know if that makes a difference, but the referee didn't give a penalty. Neither did the assistant referee. It's a corner though, and they're taking a different routine towards the far post. Headed! Oh, onto the line, into the back of the net! And Jackson has scored, but the flag has gone up for offside. Fantastic save from Bonham to deny the first header, but he's just spooned it up in the air, and Jackson followed in. Clearly, according to the linesman, he was offside. And again, it's a good save from Bonham. We'll get the offside replay in a moment.
It was a lovely save from Bonham. The only thing you would say is he put it right into a dangerous area. Jackson well offside because he was holding the goalkeeper. It's really good from Bolton, though, that they get everyone off the line there. Really good defensive play from Bolton. There's no one just staying on the line looking for a deflection. It's a great save from Bonham, as I say. And I don't think anyone was following up from Bradford that was on an offside position. But all you would say is that if Jackson was onside, well, Bonham's almost just played it right back into him. So he's got away with it was offside. And now for Bradford, it's important for them that heads don't drop that was offside. They need to continue the good momentum they're building.
Bolton are under a little bit of pressure. At the moment, they're surviving as they look to counter down the left-hand side. Gale's got him behind. It's a real heavy touch. He should be able to keep it in. He does. Pulls it back. Miscue. Shot towards goal. It's in the back of the net. Simons has side-footed it past the stunned Walker. And there was just a cross coming in. It should have been cleared and intercepted, but it ran through to Simons just on the edge of the box. And after coming so close to conceding a goal, Bolton have got a goal on the evening, which gives them a two-leg advantage. Fine finish from Simons, but another mistake.
It was another mistake. Gale with the heavy touch, and he does well to just put the ball in the box, I thought, but Baldwin, he's going for a touch and a clearance at the same time, isn't he? Really awkward play from the defender. He had that awkward moment as well in the first half, where he tried to chest it down, and Ben Rodriguez nearly came away with a strike there. We all say Simon, you know he's not used to scoring because he must have had about 20 celebrations everywhere. He didn't know what to do with himself. It's a great strike, as you said as well, first time. Nothing Sam Walker could do about it. It's the pace as well, and the fresh legs of Gale. You have to give him credit. And getting in the area was Dalby. It's a lovely finish. Baldwin tries to take a touch on his left boot and open it up, and it falls kindly for Simons here, but it's still going to be a top-tier finish to beat Walker. He runs onto it. It's a lovely finish. It's only his second of the season, and I say you can tell because he runs armed in the air, beats his chest, runs to the away fans, doesn't know what to do. Massive goal for Bolton.
Yeah, if you're worried about fatigue, Simons is just... I mean, you can understand, I suppose, but he's run a marathon celebrating. Baldwin can't believe it. The offside actually was touch and go. Didn't get a very long still. The ball played through to Gale. It was tight. Just thinking of one in the first half where Jackson went, and I wasn't sure he was offside, even though the flag went up. But the flag stayed down, and... I don't know what they're talking about there because Jackson was just in shot. Nothing to do with him. Of course, he just scored for Bradford, which was ruled out for offside. But it is a mistake. Baldwin should deal with it. He's probably trying to control it, thinking he's going to control it and looking where to pass to. Forgot to actually take the ball with him. But I have to say, that finish, because I would have thought that's a left-footed finish, but he just... coolly waited a fraction and just stroked it, didn't overhit it. It was a very, very tidy finish from Simons.
It was almost in terms of, you know, how tall when he hit his first half strike, where he just didn't get it. You want to hit it left-footed. It was that, but he got power behind it, didn't he? Because he's running onto the ball. Like I say, it's a top finish from the midfielder. It's only his second goal, and when you can hit him like that, I'm surprised he hasn't. I know he's a more defensive midfielder, but you'd sit there and say, right, could you not get in the box a bit more and grab us some goals? And I mean, you spoke earlier about Bradford not scoring in the two legs so far. Against Bolton and needing 2 goals to win it. Well, now they need 2 goals to send it to extra time, don't they? So that's looking very, very unlikely at the moment.
Yeah, Graham Alexander is looking very agitated, as you might expect. I don't know if... he's, of course, got 1 substitution left. As he might just ponder, just throw in caution to the wind. He's got to. They need 2 goals in less than 7 minutes, and that's only of the 90. There will, of course, be a little bit of stoppage time. There's no doubt that Jackson was offside. There's no controversy about that offside. He was stood on the goalkeeper, basically, and Bolton had exited the 6-yard box. So, yeah, there's no controversy about it. Of course, a fingertip save onto the crossbar could have given Bradford the lead on another day. It's just not been their day today. Maybe they could have been a bit more aggressive in an attacking sense in the first half, but they were only 1-0 down, I suppose. I mean, ifs and buts and maybes. Obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Nobody has it until it's too late, one way or another. But there's still time, in a way. 6 minutes of regulation. Bradford have been the better of the 2 sides. They can't just let their heads drop. just get back to what they were doing. I mean, basically, Bolton have had one attack and scored, and even then that should have been cut out. The woodwork's come to Bolton's rescue, but obviously they've got to get it downfield pretty quickly. Bradford. Toure has it on the halfway line. Just coaxes it to Power, who plays a good ball out to the right-hand side. Jackson's had a good game when he's been on the right flank. Low ball into Sarcevic, edge of the box. He's tackled, though. It was a fraction behind him. The tackle, though, has diverted the ball behind. It was Sheehan who got a challenge in. Score from this corner. Very frantic last 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Got to score from this corner.
They do, and as well, I think what takes it away, because obviously Jackson put it into the back, then it was offside, but it was a lovely delivery from Power, wasn't it, where it was taken short by right to the skipper. Big header came, and it was a big save, so they've got to score from this one, as you say.
Taking it short, and it's still going to be whipped in from that side. Glanced away to the edge of the box. Lapsley tees up a volley. It's blocked by the man Simons, who comes out to charge him down. Not an easy ball to control. It's played down the channel by Lapsley, and he'll chase it himself. Ossie Tutu tries to shepherd it behind, and does. So that'll be a goal kick. 4.5 minutes of stoppage and stoppage time to go. Bradford 0, Bolton 1 on the night. That's 2-0 to the Trotters on aggregate. As you might expect, the Bolton fans who've made the journey are enjoying themselves. Can't deny them that. It's a good goal as well. Lovely finish. I mean, the build-up was okay, but there was just a lapse from Baldwin that allowed the ball to run through to Simons, but a lovely ping from the edge of the box as it's pumped downfield by Neufville. Headed away by Johnston, back into the Bradford half. I think that took a touch off Neufville, trying to get above Gale, and it will be a Bolton throw. They'll be in no rush to do anything, of course. Stephen Schumacher won't be resting on his laurels, thinking the job is done. He'll want a clean sheet. That's not something that perhaps Bolton are used to. They've drawn a lot. Of course, a draw is enough tonight, but they might just want an away win. Another confidence boost going to Wembley, where they will play Stockport as things stand. But obviously, it is in their favour. It's still, what do you think is going through Graham Alexander's mind?
Probably as well that he thought that, I know it was offside, so you say it's all spot on, but probably that maybe his players just for that minute that the ball were in the back of the net. What, as I said, a minute later, Bolton scored. He was probably thinking that they just didn't keep the heads. They're coming forward now, though.
Into the box, sliding challenge comes in. It's a ball-winning challenge from the goal scorer Simons. He's full of running. It is a corner. Obviously, I thought they should have scored. They've taken another corner shot. The change of tack from Bradford as Wright tries to go around the outside. Challenge comes in from Gale. Everyone's pointing somewhere. It's come off right last, says the official. And so that will be a goal kick. I don't understand. They're taking corners short.
Especially as the last time they put it in was a beautiful delivery from Power, wasn't it, onto the head of one of their defenders. And it was a great header, just a better save by Bonham. I just don't know why as well. Wright goes down that byline, and it's then on his weaker right foot as well, so he's not going to put as good of a cross in. He should have just taken a touch and swung one in. Out of the moment, you can just tell that Bradford, they're just trying to play off the cuff, and it's not really working. They're making some wrong and bad decisions.
Gale slips it down the line for McAtee, edge of the box, low shots, which is saved by Walker. Lacked any real venom in the strike. Of course, Bradford are going to get caught on the counter from time to time in the remaining few minutes, because they've just got to bomb forward into the final two of regulation. Still that lovely Simons goal, the difference between the two sides, and it's come in a poor second half for the Trotters, really. They've been under pressure. I don't want to say under the cosh, because there probably haven't been that many saves. They've won a throw-in high at the pitch, Bradford. I'll say Tutu a bit nonchalant in his clearance. It's ricocheted back off him. It's right on the corner flag. Wright comes forward to take it, needs an option, and he's going to get it back off Humphreys. Can't cross though, no room. Toure up in support. Walking pace at the moment. Of course, Bolton have got everybody back behind the ball. Lapsley nearer the halfway line. Power back out to the left-hand side. Toure has it. Now back infield to Power, 35 yards out, cross into the box, onto the chest, the little turn from Humphreys, can't find a teammate, but it's tackled by Ossie Tutu across the area. It needed Conway's intervention, because I think Jackson was arriving far post. And it's cleared at the last. Throw in high up the field, right on the corner flag. But we're into the final 40 seconds of the 90 minutes. And it looks as though they're going to try a long throw.
Just try and get something in the box, try and get something in the mixer to try and just cause a problem. I mean, a problem as well is they've wasted about, 30 seconds here as well. Power's saying to his defenders, get up, and they're saying, right, well, there's no one back, and here comes a long throw. Yeah,
in towards the near post, bounces. Johnson half clears, helped further away by Simons, nodded down by Gale, but only to Lapsley. Bradford have it back. Lapsley's back to goal, and he's under-hit the pass. There's a counter on for Bolton, but across goes Torrey. He goes down. I don't think there was much contact there. The referee eventually gives him one. I think the referee bottled that in a sense. I think Torre wants the foul and he couldn't give one. Baldwin's then kicked the back of a Bolton player who's arguably obstructing a quick clearance. Then Gale's been pulled up. He pushes off. It's all getting a bit aggro. Power wants to have a word with everybody. It's a little bit untidy, shall I say. I do think Baldwin knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing there. Gale was walking over the ball, wasn't he, kicking it away to try and take some seconds off the clock, and Baldwin's almost gone, well, I'm going to go to kick the ball, and I'm going to catch your left leg, and then I'm going to say, well, referee, he didn't move out of the way. I was going for the ball. He was in the way. I wanted to kick the ball. That's the problem, and as you said, to me, that's just pure frustration from the Bradford side involved. As you say, then Power comes over. You saw Sissoko, the left winger for Bolton, went off earlier. Yellow card for Baldwin. I can imagine Gale will get one as well for slowing the play down as well. Sissoko came over and just put his shoulders up going, well, what was the need for that for everyone? It's just tensions and frustration boiling over for the Bantams right there.
Yeah, just a yellow card for Baldwin, but there is a yellow card for the band's bench. I'm not sure who it was. There's a crowd of players. There's 2 yellow cards for people off the field. I personally didn't think it was a foul. Torre thought, he's going to touch me, I'm going to go down. So then arguably he's obstructing the ball himself. He's sat on the ball and then he's leaned into, and McAtee can't believe it. Gale did sort of kick the ball away. I would say Baldwin also missed Gale, looking at a replay. So, Gale could have got a yellow card. That would have been... I mean, it's all a bit in bad taste, isn't it? As Baldwin knew what he was doing in the sense that he went to kick the ball and he wasn't really going to take the free kick. But I don't think he's kicked Gale looking at a replay. Gale's quickly fighting his own corner as McAtee half clears the free kick. Worked back out to the left-hand side. Right, can he get a good cross in? It's deep to the far post. It's bounced into the area and Sheehan, it came off Gale. Could have gone anywhere. Fell to Sheehan who smashed it downfield. But Walker comes out of his area. He's going to launch it back. 7 minutes of stoppage time. That melee just happened at the end of 90, so I didn't get a chance to tell you how much stoppage time was played. 7 minutes, and we've had 2.5. And good little shimmy from Cozier Dubry to get back the first challenge, which was a very committed one. But unfortunately for Cozier Dubry, there was Lapsley was mopping up. Bradford come again, hit forward, ball over the top. And Humphreys, he just got underneath it a fraction. Not a great clearance though from Ossie Tutu. Right has it down the left-hand side, pulls it back to Humphreys who took a touch. That's allowed the challenge to come back in. It's gone behind, or is it a foul? Dolby working hard back there. And he's won a free kick. A lot of high fives for defensive actions as far as Bolton are concerned. And again, I don't think it's a foul, but that's what the referee's given. Yeah,
I don't know if it's a Humphrey. He takes a touch and he takes a long time, doesn't he, to take the touch and go for the strike. It really opened up for him and he just took way too long. And I don't know if because Dolby's come and got the ball, then Humphrey's going for the shot, has caught Dolby. So that's what the referee's given. Again, it's a little bit soft, but I could understand why the referee's done it. And then Torre catches Dolby there. And look, any seconds Bolton can tick off the clock we're going to do. As you said, there were 7 minutes. We're about to hit 4 minutes played of that, and would you say there's an extra maybe a minute or 2 added on because of all of the pushing and shoving? Because it kind of that happened as soon as we hit the 90th minute, give or take. Yeah,
they've got to keep their heads Bolton in the sense that why do they want to get involved in anything? Obviously, it adds time onto the clock. They might pick up bookings, red cards. Who knows? It affects their Wembley date at the moment. obviously Bradford are just desperate to get back into the game. And they won another free kick, but this time it's on their own goal line. Dolby is working hard. He hasn't had a chance to score, but he's working hard, that is for sure. He's put a challenge in his own box a moment or so ago. I guess the quality in the final third has been lacking for Bradford. They're better in the second half, but the shot that was onto the bar was from distance. They had a header from a corner which was well saved. They just haven't created enough.
No, they haven't, and you spoke about that maybe in the first half they were just a little bit too defensive. They weren't as front-footed as you'd like. As you said, hindsight is great because they could have been more attacking and Bolton go get a goal inside the first 10 minutes and then you go, oh, now we're going to get two, and it changes the game, doesn't it? Again, play devil's advocate. I know it was a great save from Bonham, but let's say Jackson just moves back and he's onside, nods it in, it's 1-1. Before Bolton were going to go and score, weren't they? So it's just put some areas, as you said, but maybe if you are Bradford, you say, look, could we have done a bit more? Bolton, I think, have played it excellently. You've won the first leg at home. You've done what you have to do in the second leg, and you're going to win the second leg as well. Bonham has been given player of the match, and he again, as you said, Powers wasn't in the 6-yard box or one-on-one, but still it was going in the back of the net in the top corner if Bonham didn't save it.
Yeah, and he made another save from, I think it was Baldwin from the corner, might have been Lapsley. That was for the goal that Jackson and Saw chalked off for offside. We might have missed it with all that was going on. Swanner's replaced Power. Obviously, he's not got much chance to make an impact. We've got a little over 1 minute of the minimum of 7, but I think we might be expecting an extra couple of minutes on top of that, given the fracas on the halfway line. Bolton, of course, needs, well, they don't need to, but have to concede 2 in whatever time is left for this to go to extra time. Bradford put the ball to the edge of the box. Farino heads clear, and Sheehan is caught from behind by Powell, desperate to win the ball. It's not necessarily his game, Powell. Sheehan, who's arguably the smallest man on the field, wants a fight.
Like Scrappy-Doo there.
Stay in his case. Yeah, frustrations. It's always frustrating for the team that's trailing. Sheehan and Powell, I know, seem to have a friendlier word. Of course, it's all playing into Bolton's hands. They can just go, we've got a free kick and we're going to take our time over it. But it's entirely understandable. I'm sure whatever level you're playing at, you don't like losing with players, the opposition time wasting.
100%. I think probably Sheehan's going, you do exactly the same if you were in my shoes. Don't lie and say it's soft, yeah, but he's probably going, yeah, you do that though if it was the other end of the field and you would 2-0 up on aggregate. And he's spot on as well, not for Bradford, for everyone. It's been a long season, hasn't it, to get so close to Wembley, so close to the finishing line. Probably makes it that a little bit sweeter for Bolton, but that more frustrating and disappointing for Bradford.
Yeah, I mean the scoreline, reflects how tight it's been. Obviously, it was 1-0 to Bolton the first leg. It could have easily been 1-0 to Bradford in this one now, but of course, I mean Bolton's first shot was a goal, and basically that could have easily been cleared. We're into the 8th minute, well into the 8th minute, nearly into the 9th of added time. But obviously, Bradford need to score twice. They've got it forward into Humphreys, but he was put under pressure by Simons, hacked away by Farino, finds touch left-hand side as Bradford take the throw-in, just inside the Bolton half. Graham Alexander on his feet. I guess he must be resigned to defeat right now, but it's obviously after promotion last season. It's been a good season for Bradford. I'm not sure many expected them to be. I know it seems to be all the rage these days, successive promotions, but it's not easy. There's a million teams that have tried to do it, and not many have succeeded, as another long ball from Bradford is cleared, and that's a better ball by Bolton out to the left-hand side. Gell's pace is matched by Nerfil, but he has to tackle the ball into touch, and we've nearly had 9 minutes of added time completed. There was a minimum of 7. We were expecting 2 more. That might just be the case. Throw into Bolton very high up the pitch. I might actually argue Bolton have looked a little bit more defensively solid since Towell went off.
Yeah.
They haven't looked unsolid, shall I say?
No, there's not been as much of problems. As we said, skipper goes off, a real leader goes off. They haven't buckled, have they, under that pressure? They've done really well. Farino's stepped up incredibly well. at the back up against Jackson most of the game. And going back to your point about promotion, you spot on. If you said to Bradford last year, you've just come up to League One, they'd probably think battling relegation mid-table. You're going to finish in the playoffs. They're taking your hand off of that. So you've also got to look at the context of a year ago and back in August, first game of the season, right, you're going to finish inside the top 7. They'd be over the moon with that.
Yeah, it's just obviously disappointing. Semi-finals, the worst place to lose, and that's exactly what has happened. Full-time whistle goes at Valley Parade. The manager's embrace. It was tight, it was tense. Bolton have come away with a second 1-0 victory. They are through to the final to play Stockport.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved.